Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is a very sad, but also there is some good to it, right? And it's gonna sound weird for me to say that off the jump, especially when here in a few minutes you're gonna kind of see what the subject matter of this video is. And I know you see that title, right? This evil girl finally got what she deserved. And, you know, you're already thinking, like, there's no way, right, that, like, there's really gonna be some good that comes out of this situation. But no, there actually is, and though there is some good to come out of it, it really is a pretty depressing one, man. Like, not only did this happen in my home state of Ohio, but to think that two people who are so young had their lives completely stolen from them in this way by somebody who was clearly a disturbed individual is just really fucked up. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, the world is a cruel place. We know that. Like, life's not fair. It plays by some very dirty sets of rules. But to think that two young men had their lives tragically stolen over something so petty and stupid, right? It just, I don't know, man. It hurts my soul. So today, though, we're going to see the duality of woman, if you will, right? We're going to see how this girl acts on both ends of what she ends up doing. The actions and then the consequences. Because we know in modern society, right, people, they love the actions, right? When it comes down to doing the shit that's wrong, behaving how they know they shouldn't, just doing some foul shit, right? People love doing it. People love reaping, right? But then when it comes time to sow, when it comes time to face those consequences and kind of look in the mirror, suddenly nobody wants to do that, right? And especially in a situation like this where people seem to think that, you know, I guess I could probably get away with this. I don't even know how you could think that, right? Like how that could go through your head where you really believe in your mind of minds that you don't deserve an outcome like this. I don't know. I mean, let's just go ahead, honestly, and jump right into it, because at this point, bro, there's just so much that we're gonna cover and have to talk about. It's really gonna be a weird one. So, an Ohio teen is facing life in prison after being convicted of murdering her boyfriend and his friend by deliberately driving her car into a brick wall at 100 miles per hour, with a judge calling her, quote, literal hell on wheels. Mackenzie Sherilla sobbed in court at the age of 19 as she was found guilty of 4 counts of murder for the July 2022 crash that killed her boyfriend Dominic Russo, 20, as well as fellow passenger Davion Flanagan, 19. Cleveland.com reported, quote, this was not reckless driving, this was murder, Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court Judge Nancy Margaret Russo told the court on Monday. Quote, she had a mission and she executed it with precision, said the judge, who is not related to the boyfriend Sherilla killed when she was just 17 simply because their months-long fling was on the outs. Quote, the decision was death. So, I guess, you know, in this situation, it was like a high school romance or something that I guess went wrong, right? I don't know. You know how this shit goes, right? Anyone who's ever really had a relationship in the first place, right? Like, it's not always gonna work out. Especially in high school, man. Like, 99.9% of high school relationships are not bound to last. I know a lot of you are in high school right now. You don't like hearing me say that. That's just the reality of the world, bro. I mean, look at all the people you know who are married and how many of them are high school sweethearts. You know what I mean? Like, when you're 17 years old, your worldview and your mind and everything is like way different than it's gonna be when you're an adult. I mean, you still have so much maturity to reach, like so many different impactful decisions and moments in your life to make. It just, they don't last, right? But, you know, unfortunately, in a lot of these high school relationships, that's exactly what these kids are thinking. So, you know, I don't know, this girl thought they were gonna be together forever or whatever. Their relationship started falling apart. You know, this dude, I guess, didn't want to be with her anymore. And so she started planning to murder him in the car by driving it into a brick wall. And she did just that. And not only did she murder him, she murdered his friend who also was in the car. Now, obviously, that kid wasn't involved in the relationship. He was just hanging out with his friend. They get in the car. He was essentially at the wrong place at the wrong time and was brutally murdered by this girl because of that, even though she had literally no reason to involve him in this whole thing. And that's why I'm willing to call somebody like this evil. I mean, it's evil enough to selfishly steal one person's life over something as unimportant as a high school relationship, but it's a completely different thing to take their like entirely innocent friend and end his life as well because, you know, he was I guess in the wrong place at the wrong time. So just keep that in mind. This girl murdered 2 boys because she was gonna have to break up with one of them, right? And so she decided that fucking driving them into a wall and killing them was better than having to go through the couple weeks that suck after a breakup. Sharilla of Strongsville was also found guilty of 4 counts of felonious assault and 2 counts of aggravated vehicular homicide, according to 3 News. Her conviction carries an automatic sentence of life in prison with no opportunity for parole for 15 years, Cleveland.com said of sentencing set for Monday. Security video captured Sharilla acting with, quote, purpose and intent by flooring her Toyota Camry to 100 miles an hour moments before it jumped the curb and careened into a brick warehouse, the judge said. Quote, she morphs from a responsible driver to literal hell on wheels as she makes her way down the street, the judge said. Quote, Mackenzie alone made the decision to drive the car, to drive an obscure route, a route she visited a few days before, and a route not routinely taken by her. Alright, so this really just kind of serves the purpose to solidify that this was premeditated, right? This wasn't like, I don't know, they were driving and she's like, fuck, let me drive it into the wall and kill him, right? Like, even then, that's horrible enough. But this was something she meticulously planned down to finding an alternate route, which she drove days before. So for several days, she was planning to kill this poor kid, going through these motions to try and figure out the route and everything, right? Like, there's no defense for this girl. There's literally zero fucking defense for this entire thing. You know what I mean? You can't get away with this one, bro. There's just no possible way to be like, oh yeah, I really didn't mean to do that. You know, I just was kind of acting out of character. Like, nah, you killed 2 people for pretty much no reason. I'm sorry, like, breaking up with a girl in high school is not reason enough for someone to be fucking killed, bro. This shit is not that serious, you know? Like, it just, you can't be a mentally sound, healthy, rational individual, right? And think that this is like a fucking normal outcome or like a reasonable thing to do. So, when she woke up in the hospital after the accident, doctors say she displayed, quote, grief, guilt, and shame about what happened, which the state's attorneys also took as, quote, consciousness of guilt, the court was told. Assistant Cuyahoga County prosecutor Tim Troop told the court that the teen wanted to murder Dominic Rousseau after their months-long fling fizzled out. Davion was just cargo, Troop said, per Cleveland.com. So, I guess she was conscious of what she did eventually and felt some guilt and some shame, which, I mean, yeah, you probably should after you just murdered 2 fucking innocent teenage boys because one of them was planning to break up with you. Like, I don't know, that seems like the reaction that she should have had. I don't think that really says that she's not fucking psychotic or crazy. I mean, she did murder 2 people, but I mean, I guess at least she was a little bit ashamed of it, right? At least she was kind of guilty. I don't know, man. It's a fucked up situation. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the further we get into this article, the more it actually pisses me the fuck off, right? Because this is a girl who clearly had problems. You know, this is a girl who anyone should be able to tell, like, this girl had some fucking problems going on, man. Like, even before she killed these boys, she had fucking issues. So, whatever she had in for Dominic, Flanagan was just along with his friend and got sucked into a toxic relationship and just got in the wrong seat that night. Prosecutors also point to statements Sharilla made in weeks before the crash, including one video in which she threatened to key Rousseau's car as evidence of intent. So, gee, I wonder why this boy wanted nothing to fucking do with this psychopath, right? Weeks before she killed him and his friend with her car, she was threatening to key his fucking car and vandalize it and cause hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars in damage to his vehicle because of their relationship, right? There's no defense for this, man. Like, there's no way around this. This is just what fucking lunatics do, right? You know, in, like, the comedy movie when, like, the crazy psycho ex-girlfriend shows up and fucking keys the dude's car and he's like, oh, man, that bitch keyed my car, bro. That's what they're, like, kind of clowning, is people like this, these fucking lunatics who can't just be told no, who can't just be told, hey, I don't want to be with you, right? They have to end up doing shit like this, and unfortunately taking it way too fucking far. Much less proven evidence beyond a reasonable doubt that present in the mind of Mackenzie was a specific intent to cause the death of her boyfriend and their friend. Sharilla's supporters also cried during the proceedings and shouted their support as she was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs. Sharilla's mother told 3 News the family was, quote, shocked by the verdict and said she wants her daughter to appeal. You read shit like that and it almost comes across as like an Onion article, right? Or like a fucking South Park goof or something. What the fuck do you mean, Sharilla supporters? So apparently this girl had like supporters in the courtroom who, I don't know, thought she was innocent, who thought that she should be a free woman on the street. So let me get this right. You guys hear a story of a girl murdering her boyfriend and his innocent friend with her car by driving it into a wall at 100 miles per hour, virtually guaranteeing them being killed. Miraculously not killing herself. I don't even know how she fucking survived the whole thing, right? So she does all that. Weeks beforehand, she was gonna key this fucking kid's car and vandalize his property. They've been in this toxic back and forth relationship for however long. And your idea out of all of that is, fuck it, yeah, she's innocent, free my girl. These people should have their rights to vote taken away. They should be banned from getting driver's licenses. Like, no human rights. I'm sorry. What kind of fucking idiot supports somebody like this? Like, you hear all of the information of this story and you're like, you know what? I actually think the innocent boyfriend who was murdered was in the wrong on this one. This girl didn't do anything wrong. And to shout your support in front of what I would assume to be the families of these two boys who were murdered for literally no good reason whatsoever is just completely fucking disgusting, man. Like, I genuinely hope that these people are shamed by God. And I'm not even a religious person, but if God's out there, man, if you're up there on the cloud, bro, fucking hitting the moonwalk or whatever, smite these motherfuckers, man. Do something, bro. Because these people should not just be walking around like normal folks in society. I'm sorry. And then for the mom to be like surprised that her daughter got the consequences of her actions. Like, maybe if you were a better mother and prevented your daughter from being a fucking head case and got her some help or like did something about it, she wouldn't be in this situation. But no, you gotta blame the judge. You gotta blame the other folks who brought justice to your daughter after she literally murdered two people. So she wants her daughter to appeal. I doubt that that'll work. Let me just be brutally honest with you guys while I can. If I was the judge in this case, there is a decent chance I'd have just given the girl the fucking death penalty because she knowingly ended the lives of two young men well before they deserved it. I mean, these were teenage boys. Kids that were just starting their lives, you know what I mean? They had everything ahead of them. And to have that robbed from you over a petty high school relationship by a psychopath is just unfair and fucking cruel, bro. Their lives will never continue. Their families will never get that comfort of seeing their sons or their brothers or whatever ever again. But I'm supposed to show mercy and feel bad for some fucking girl who knew very well exactly what she was doing? Absolutely not. I don't care that she was 17. I know people are going to use that as a defense. Oh, she was a kid, bro. Kids make mistakes. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a one-off. This was literally premeditated murder. Using a vehicle as a weapon. There is no getting away from that. What you did was insane. It was demented. You deserve that. But then at the same time, I also am kind of happy that she got life because every day for the rest of her fucking existence, her pathetic existence on this planet, she will be mentally tortured by the memory of those two innocent boys that she murdered. Their spirits will cry out to her in her mind 24/7. She'll have to live with the fact that what she did in the cold concrete confines of that fucking prison forever at this point. And every day when she wakes up and all those other inmates that are in there for horrific crimes are surrounding her and living in their jail life, whatever, right? She gets an hour of sunshine a day. She's printing fucking license plates for the rest of her life. She's got to sit there and think about everything she did. While the rest of us are outside, you know, we're living our lives. We're achieving different things. We're enjoying our families. She has to talk to her family through a fucking telephone for the rest of her life. And the only people she'll ever see again are essentially prison guards and other demented fuck-ups. So congratulations on how the rest of your life's gonna go. Because that's exactly what you deserve, man. It's a fucked up world. It really is. It's horrible to talk about situations like this, but to see all of these different details, like, it really just doesn't seem real, you know? Like, that this is how everything happened, but, well, that is unfortunately the world we live in, man. So, with that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, talking about this just tragic situation and signing out.